Hi, this is Steve Lentini, Lord and Lentini Training for Life and the Best Getting Better. And I'm the host of the podcast, Different Thinking for Different Times. And so each week I'm using different thinking for different times to talk about how we as human beings need to advance and overcome what I call our acorn brain thinking. The thinking that is the first thought, the automatic response. And I'm not saying that we're going to sing Kumbaya or Kumbaya around the campfire anytime soon as humans, but we can look around and we don't have to look very far to see the negative impact of the automatic response. People believing what I call the acorn brain. People reacting with violence or fighting or even shooting and killing one another over differences they have, whether it be their race or their political beliefs. And it doesn't get us anywhere, right? It just leaves us stuck in the morass of violence and then wanting more because people get angry and then they want revenge, and then something occurs where they want even more revenge, or there's even more in their mind to get angry about. And different thinking for different times does not mean that you get run over by other people. That's not what it means. It means that you plant your feet and you're willing to negotiate and not to react to each person that angers you or that crosses your path and you feel anger. You can say, I feel angry. I feel angry, and let's talk about this. What's going on? Or I feel that you're angry, or I can see that you're angry, and let's talk about it. That's what's missing. The people aren't breathing and leaving a gap of time, right? Take a breath and leave a gap of time between your response, what someone says to you, and to your response. And what you'll notice is you can think of a bunch of things that you could do rather than lash out and act in anger. And there's so many people fighting in relationship. All you have to do is look at divorce courts and divorce attorneys, and look at people suing each other in court. So there's a lot of disagreements in business. And then we look at politics and our own Congress and Senate just spending time pointing fingers at each other. And I'm not for either party, by the way. And so I'm not going to make anyone wrong in this, because the goal of what I'm doing for work is to get people to negotiate, to compromise. And that takes having some space between the automatic thought that says, give him a piece of your mind, or give her a piece of your mind, or how stupid could they be because they think conservatively, or how stupid could they be because they think liberally. It doesn't matter whether one is from the right or the left or the center, or one is white or black or green or yellow. It doesn't matter. We're all human beings. And what our job here is in life is to overcome that, what I call the acorn brain, small-minded thinking. And how I came to this conclusion, I mention it in every one of my podcasts. I came to this conclusion because on November 18th, 2002, I had been in intensive care 5 days at that point. And at one point that day, I was not in my body. I was in what I call pure consciousness. And nothing from this earth, nothing that we define as so important. None of the jobs I had, the titles I had, the books I had written, the houses I owned, nothing from here was there. Nothing. And literally that day, of course, I woke up like any other day. Well, and on November 13th anyway, when I went to the hospital by ambulance, I had a past and I had a future, like any other human. I got up to do my work. I had not had any symptoms. And then my pancreas shut down that day in the afternoon, and 5 days later, I flatlined. And it was amazing to be on the other side and learn how small-minded our acorn brain is. That even in some of the writings of prophets and people who have been gone for thousands of years, wherever they mention revenge or anger or cast you into the fires of hell forever, that's, if it sounds human and small-minded, there's nothing like that where we're going. Where we're going is non-judgmental, neither male nor female, no past or future. You have no choice. You're in the moment. And that's how I learned. That's where the divine is, in the moment. And that it can never be separate from us on this earth, right? So in every moment, everything is working together for good. And that everything is divine. And we just have to take a breath and look at, why is this happening? What can I learn from it? How can I grow? And rather than listening to our acorn brain that wants us to lash out, get angry, get revenge, tell the story about how we've been hurt, instead of forgiving, letting it go. And I know it's work. It's not easy. But that's why we're here. Other than that, then we have a purposeless life. We're here to overcome all these little petty grievances. We're here to let go of advancing because we own things. Titles, people who are striving for titles here, in a flash, I can tell you it's gone. It doesn't mean anything. You don't get to the head of the line because you were president of a company or you owned a big business or you had a lot of money in the bank. You are the same with everything and everyone else. I was one with everything and nothing. Then there was a life review and only the good I had done was mentioned. Somehow the good I had done in my life review flashed before me, and it's etched in the fabric of time. I can't even tell you how that is, but it makes sense to me. And I should say, and it makes sense to me that when we do good, we feel good. Think about it. When you do good, you feel good. There's a reason that we feel good when we do good, because we're supposed to find a way to do good and overcome our acorn brain that wants us to punish other people, want them to burn in hell forever. Whatever it is we have that's small-minded, angry, vengeful, non-forgiving, judgmental, anything like that is not where we come from. There was no race, there was no religion. No one had rights ahead of me. And no one had rights ahead of anyone else. In fact, you don't even know there's other people there. You're just one with everything and nothing. And you know it. You have a consciousness without a body. So get ready for that. Start just looking at your thinking, right? Develop a level of thinking above your thinking. I'm not asking people to change their thinking today with one podcast, but what I am suggesting is start to look at where you react. And one step at a time, can you overcome one thing that you typically do every day? Maybe you talk about a friend, or you talk about a neighbor, or you talk about a race, or you talk about a boss. Whatever it is, begin to notice where you do that and stop. Try something different. Look at how you feel. Instead of passing by the person on the street that needs a sandwich or a smile, give them that. Give them the money, take them to buy a sandwich, do something that goes against that brain that's ranting and railing about, oh, the guy should get a job. Do something different. Let's see how you feel. And don't take my word for this. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to yourself. Start to see where you can make a difference in every moment. And even if you do it only a part of your day, start to notice how that makes you feel. Look at how grateful, perhaps, you can start to think about all the things you're grateful for, and let that put you in a frame of mind that's different. Again, you're testing all of this stuff for yourself, and you have to prove it to yourself. Don't take my word for it. But trust me, what awaits us is amazing. Steve at stevelentini.com. If you have questions, Steve at stevelentini.com. Thanks for listening.